Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So before we start, please ignore the state of the room. Over here I have so many clothes on this bed which are waiting for me to be altered, and I'm just throwing the quilt over them because what else do you do when you're trying to make your room look tidier? But this cannot be avoided, so that's my little disclaimer. Today I thought I would do a little book haul for you because I found a couple of new books in charity shops, and I also bought a couple for myself from Waterstones, which is basically like our Barnes and Noble in the UK. Just going to be a little short video to keep you up to date on what is on my TBR now that I've been buying new books. So, first one that I'm going to start off with is Kane's Jawbone. I bought it a few months ago, and I actually bought two copies at the same time because I bought one for me and one for my friend for her birthday. Let me read the blurb of this to give you a bit of an idea. It says, 6 murders, 100 pages, millions of possible combinations, but only one is correct. Can you solve... Oh, I should have looked up how to say this before I start reading. I want to say Torquemada's murder mystery. I don't know. It's a guy anyway. In 1934, the Observer's cryptic crossword compiler and the Observer... Oh my god, I actually cannot speak today. Let me just start that whole paragraph again with the preface that the Observer is a newspaper in the UK. In 1934, the Observer's cryptic crossword compiler, Edward Powys Mathers, aka Torquemada, released a novel that was simultaneously a murder mystery and the most fiendishly difficult literary puzzle ever written. The pages have been printed in an entirely haphazard order, but it is possible, through logic and intelligent reading, to sort them into the only correct order, revealing 6 murder victims and their respective murderers. Then it says, only 3 puzzlers have ever solved the mystery of Kane's Jawbone. Do you have what it takes to join their ranks? So, it's basically a murder mystery book, which reminded me of Cluedo, and I literally love anything murder mystery. Love crime documentaries, and so does my friend who I bought this for, so I thought it'd be the perfect present because the idea is that you try and solve it, and there's a small prize for winning. Like, you can win some money, but I mean, really, it's just for like the satisfaction of doing it. Up until now, there's only been a couple of people that have managed to solve it. 2 of them were back in like the 1930s when it was published, and one of them was a guy from the UK who solved it in lockdown. So I was like, okay, so it can actually be solved in modern day. Like, it's not going to be all old-fashioned references that I can't understand. Like, is possible to do. And it just sounded so up my street. It's got on the front that like people of Agatha Christie would love it, you know, like Poirot, Sherlock Holmes, that kind of thing. So the idea is, and this basically breaks my heart, but you have to tear out the pages. So I've already started tearing them out, and then you can kind of put them on your wall or however you want to do it and try and put them in the right order. And I saw this girl start to do it on TikTok, which basically inspired me, and that's how I found out about it. And she literally got them on her wall like she was in CSI or Criminal Minds, these pages with string attached between them, because you've got to read through it and think, oh yeah, that reminds me of that back on page 1, so maybe that page needs to go before that page, and you have to reorder the entire book. And I was like, I need to have a go at this. So I now have it in my possession. Like I said, I've already started. I've already cut some of them out. So you see, it's got the numbers on the top. I don't know if you can see. It's got number 1 and number 2, but that's not actually the correct order. And there's how many pages in there in the entire thing? There's about 100 pages. Oh yeah, it literally says it on the back. I've already started making little notes, and I had a little notebook which I was writing in. But I'm thinking about doing a whole video on just this in general because I think it would be really cool to document the journey of trying to solve it. I got it from my friend as well. She was very excited about it. We're both gonna read it kind of simultaneously at the same time and then go back and forth and FaceTime about things that we found out. I'm just very excited. Next, we have the first of my charity shop buys. We have I'll Give You the Sun. So a lot of the times when I'm in charity shops, I literally just look for books that ring a bell, like that I've heard of on either TikTok or YouTube or from wherever, and then I'll read the back and see if it does seem like something that I'd be interested in. So I'm going to read the back. Jude and her twin Noah are close until a tragedy drives them apart. Now they are barely speaking and both falling for boys that they can't have. Love's complicated. So as soon as I knew that it was a romance, I was like, this is definitely up my street again. And it says on the front, love is only half the story. And then obviously it's got loads of people inside saying how good it is. And then the author's written a cute little note in the front where they explain a bit more. They say, dear reader, I'm so excited for you to meet twins Noah and Jude. Noah is this flood in a paper cup. That took me a minute to work out what that meant. I think it means he's a lot. Like, yeah. He has a mad desire to draw, to kiss the boy next door and to peel the blue off the sky, to be the blue in the sky. And Jude, she used to surf and cliff dive and do all the talking for both the twins, but something's happened and now she's gone quiet. It said, this is a story about love, crazy complicated love of all kinds, between guys and girls, guys and guys, mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, artists and their art, the living and the dead, but mostly it's about the fierce roller coaster love between the twins themselves. Oh yeah, I remember reading this as well where it says, there's a moment in the novel when Jude's watching her stone carving mentor, Guillermo, sculpt, and she wonders if he's making the sculpture or if the sculpture is making him. That's what writing this novel felt like. And I thought, like, that was just such a cool way of describing writing a book. Like, when you're making art, are you making the art or is the art changing you? And I was like, wow, really appealed to the poetic side of me. Very excited to read this. And I was also very excited because I'll insert a photo here, but I bought 3 books on the same day and all their covers just matched perfectly. Like the colours in them, they look so aesthetically pleasing and it just made my whole day. So yeah, that was the first one. The second one was Cersei by the same author that wrote The Song of Achilles. And because I loved Song of Achilles so much and I thought it was just such a perfect book, I was like, this has got to be good too. Like, there's no way that this can't be good. The cover was so pretty, like the way that it shines. I'll read the back of this one to you. It says, in the house of Helios, god of sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. Cersei is strange, not powerful and terrible like her father, nor gorgeous and mercenary like her mother, but she has a dark power of her own, witchcraft. When Cersei's gift threatens the gods, she is banished to the island of... Now, how on earth do I say this? Aiaia? Maybe. Where she hones her occult craft, casting spells, gathering strange herbs, and taming wild beasts. Yet a woman who stands alone cannot live in peace for long, and among her island's guests is an unexpected visitor, the mortal Odysseus, for whom Cersei will risk everything. Cersei's tale is a vivid epic of family rivalry, love and loss, the inextinguishable song of a woman burning hot and bright in the darkness of a man's world. Whoa. So romance, like female power, Greek mythology. It's just got so much that sounds so good. I'm just so excited to read this. I feel like this didn't come out too long ago. Oh, okay, 2018. Well, normally if it's like a newer book than that, I'm like very excited to find it in a charity shop, which is the equivalent of a thrift shop in America. But yeah. Okay. Next, we have another one. So the story of how I found out about this book is rather random. My mum was on Facebook. One of her friends on Facebook was doing this challenge where every day for like 30 days, I think it was, she posted a different book that she'd read that had changed her life in some way, or she just thought it was an amazing read and wanted to recommend it to other people. It was like, you know, when you do 5 books I would recommend that everyone read. It was that kind of thing. My mum saw this in a charity shop and remembered that this was one of the books on her friend's list. So we were like, why don't we buy it and then both of us can share it? And we do that with quite a few books. I didn't really know anything else about it, apart from that it's called Memoirs of a Geisha. I always get nervous that I've said things wrong. I hope I haven't said that wrong. But it says on the front, this is an epic tale and a beautiful... You know what, I can't read that word either. Okay, never mind. So it says, this story is a rare and utterly engaging experience. It tells the extraordinary tale of a geisha, summoning up a quarter century from 1929 to the post-war years of Japan's dramatic history, and opening a window onto a half-hidden world of eroticism and enchantment, exploitation and degrade. And oh god, I nearly got to the end of the paragraph without stuttering, damn it. And I shouldn't be stuttering over something. This is a bad word. Bad, need to be serious. Exploitation and degradation. Fuck. Let me just go on to Goodreads just to see if I can sum up a bit better what it's about. Okay, Goodreads to the rescue, because I feel like I needed a bit more context to explain this. So, as well as saying that it's a brilliant debut novel, it basically says that in Memoirs of a Geisha, we enter a world where appearances are paramount, where a girl's virginity is auctioned to the highest bidder, where women are trained to beguile the most powerful men. Beguile is like seduce, like enchant. And where love is scorned as illusion. It is a unique and triumphant work of fiction, at once romantic, erotic, suspenseful, and completely unforgettable. Okay, so I don't want to get this wrong, but it says on Google that a geisha is a Japanese hostess trained to entertain men with conversation, dance, and song. Geisha are a class of female Japanese performing artists and entertainers trained in traditional Japanese performing art styles such as dance, music, and singing, as well as being proficient conversationalists and hosts. I'm guessing that I need to actually read the book to find out more, but I was interested to know if that meant anything a bit more sexual. But it does come up as one of the common questions on here, because I kind of want to know what I'm getting myself into with the book and what it's going to be about. Someone had asked, do geishas sleep with their clients? And Google says some geisha would sleep with their customers, whereas others would not, leading to distinctions between them. I guess it did say on Goodreads about girls' virginities being sold to the highest bidder, so I don't know if there will be trigger warnings for this or not. I can't really see. That is much as I can find out about it, because I didn't know anything about it before. So I love to read books that are just eye-opening and about something completely different, a different culture. I feel like I'm going to read it and be enriched by it. I'll have learnt more and I'll be more knowledgeable and I'll be a better person for having read it. Does that make sense? I'm very excited to read that one. Okay, next we have another book. I'm again sharing this one with my mum, and she's gone on holiday and taken it with her conveniently. So I'm just gonna get Goodreads up again. It says update it. No, I don't want to update it. Ugh. So the next one is Cecily by Annie Garthwaite, and the blurb of this one goes like this. Rebellion, question mark. Could you tell that I tried to do that in a question when I said it? Rebellion. The word is a spark. They can start a fire with it or smother it in their fingertips. She chooses to start a fire. You are born high, but marry a traitor's son. You bear him 12 children. Oh my God. Carry his cause and bury his past. You play the game against enemies who wish you ashes. Slowly you rise. You are Cecily. But when the king who governs you proves unfit, what then? Loyalty or treason, and death may follow both. The board is set, time to make your first move. Told through the eyes of its greatest unseen protagonist, this astonishing debut plunges. I just merge those three words. Astonishing debut plunges you into the blood and exhilaration. Sorry, I'm just having flashbacks to when I just said that. Into the blood and exhilaration of the first days of the Wars of the Roses, a war as women fight it. And this has such good reviews on Goodreads. So it's basically set back in Tudor times. That's what I can gather from it. And it's told from a woman's perspective. And we're following someone who is embroiled in everything that's going on in the court. But obviously we only normally hear that from a male's point of view. We always hear about the males in King Henry VIII's court I guess we do hear about Henry VIII's wives sometimes, but it's not always in the best light. So this will be so interesting to hear a fictionalised version of what life was like to be living in that court with all the deceit and lies and betrayal and scheming, but from a woman's point of view. I'm so excited to read it because I really want to start reading more historical novels. I really want to get into reading Philippa Gregory and trying some books that are set in especially Tudor times, because I loved learning about the Tudors in school. The Tudors were back in like the 1600s, maybe 1600s or 16th century. I always get confused. So I think that concludes all the books that I have to show you. There weren't too many on there, but I will do another video as soon as I get more. I actually have been trying to stop buying as many books because I'm running out of space. It's a bit ridiculous. I just have nowhere to put them. So I'm trying to be picky with the ones I actually do buy. But when I'm in a charity shop and I see one for like 50p or £1, I just feel like I have to get it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little summary of books that I'm going to be reading. Maybe it gave you a few more to put on your list as well if you thought any of them sounded good. I hope you're having a lovely week, and I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye!